of the Environment Committee. Got the recording, so there we go. Reading pictures. Yay. Item 1 on the agenda is election of chair, 24-25. Lisa,
I'd like to nominate you.
thank you very much. Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Any other nominations? Thank you very much. We're supposed to be at a vote on it then. Yeah.
We have to for Steve.
Thank you.
I think I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, also be rather than the previous year. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all the committee for all their hard work and things as well. And thanks to people that were on the committee and that aren't anymore. Yeah. Excellent. So, apologies for absence.
Apologies from Councillor Gately.
Thank you. And then we come on to election of vice chair. We've got Robin.
I'd like to propose Lucy and Draper.
Thank you.
I'll second.
That's very kind of you, Rob. Right. Do we have any other nominations for vice chair? No, thank you. So we'll take a vote on that.
You can have a vote for yourself.
Excellent. Looking forward to working with you.
Maidstones.
Excellent. Okay, item 4, declaration of interest. To receive any declarations of any personal or prejudicial interest under consideration on this agenda in accordance with the Localism Act 2011, sections 24 to 34 and schedule 4. No. And then everybody seen the minutes of the Environment Committee from the 15th of April circulated?
Yeah.
Yeah, do we agree those?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably vote to agree them.
They'll be
Vote to
good.
agree.
Okay,
All right,
fine.
and we'll vote to agree.
They'll be double agreed.
Yeah. Terms of reference for the Environment Committee, which is Appendix A. Councillor Stretchford.
Suppose we, chairman, chairperson, know that these.
Just chair or
Chair.
Okay. I was going to propose we note them if they've been agreed by all council.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, and we're going to go slightly out of order because Councillor Schaefer has another meeting to go to.
Just a very quick point of order. We have in the past run these relatively informally. I would propose that we continue using first names in the committee. Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's nice.
Yeah.
thanks, Anya.
Less room. But I'm going to be called from now on.
Okay, so we're going to move on to item 9, which is the Boules Club lease, Appendix C. So do we have a report on it?
Hopefully the report summarises, I've just
Yeah.
put the key amendments in, it follows very closely to the previous one, it's just been updated.
We'll go with the recommendation.
Councillor Stretchbury? Sorry, Robin.
Robin's fine. Any name's fine, really. Could I just ask I'm sure we discussed it, what the amendments are to the previous lease?
Who's going to ask that?
I think we should know that rather than just note it. I think we should know those, and then that is the body of the text which we need to discuss.
Yeah,
Right.
I can run through the amendments. So the main change is every year the rent shall increase by the RPI of the previous September, which is very similar to how we run other contracts and the tenants club lease has got a very similar clause in it as well, just so it creeps up every year instead of having a jump every so many years when we have a rent review. The old lease was for 10 years, we've increased that to 15. That was in discussion with Bourton Park. Quite often when they apply for grants and different things, the lease on their property has to be acknowledged. So that will just try and help that out with their applications. The rent review will be every 5 years, 3 years, because we thought that was appropriate. The RPI increase needs to be every 5 years, but it gives a chance to meet and discuss it with the Boules Court and ourselves. Previously, there wasn't a break clause in the agreement, so a break clause has been put in there, so either side can terminate the lease with 6 months' notice. I'm sure it won't be needed, but that's just in case anything changes. And the one rent to be available for public use clause was already in the old agreement. It had been simplified, and the wording was just changed slightly with agreement with the Boules Court as well. So that might be changed, it's just been reworded and simplified.
Lisa.
Thank you. I just want to check that you said there's going to be an increase every 5 years, but on 4.2, it does say that there's going to be the rent will be increased by the retail price index of the previous September, which is like every year.
So no, sorry, it'll be every year, there'll be an increase, but then just a rent review as well.
Yeah, that's fine, as long as because it's been recorded, yeah, thanks.
John.
Just to clarify, the ring for public use, does that mean anybody can walk in at any point and play a game without having to be a member of the club? Is that what that's about?
Essentially, obviously it has to be in season and they need to contact the club because it's not open all the time.
Yeah, of course.
As long as they arrange it, yeah, essentially.
Oh, okay, okay, I'm not sure that's widely known, I think we ought to publicise that bit, really.
It's the same with the tennis club, that we've got the same clause with those, don't we? Yeah.
And the club said they're happy to have anyone come along because they might be able to.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Down council.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. Robin.
Yeah, I mean, that has been it for a long time. It was actually Councillor Isham who wanted that put in originally, and he organised then that we went down there and had a bowls evening with them when they were going through this sort of re-evaluated lease. He did a lot of work on making it work. And I think that's worth mentioning. I just want to know that what's the fiscal drag on them and us with the change of the year? Is it notable or negligible? Because I don't think it will affect it, but we should know with the terms that there may be a financial consideration at the end of the 5 years, which wouldn't have been earlier. We have to consider for a preset. I don't think I want to change it. They just need to know that we are aware of it.
Mm.
So this will kick in, as it were, next year. The rent's been set as it was previous years for this financial. They and we will know in September or October normally when we set our budgets. That's why we've said, the RPI in September, so that we know what the income will be. We can also tell them what the rent will be for the following year. So it's all clear.
Well, in that case, I'm happy. Thank you for work you've done, and we're very happily propose with Grit. But secondly, to leave it for the officers and the chair to look at whether we ought to really go down there and have a evening with them sometime over the summer.
Yeah.
An amateur opportunity to show how appalling we are playing bowls.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, so Robin's proposed that we agree to the new lease and for the mayor to sign it. Those in a seconder? Andy? All those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Chair, just before we go on to the next item, is it worth arranging a town council versus club evening?
Well, that's what we were just saying, that we will work on doing that, yeah. Yeah.
Let's do that.
That's what Robin just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's
Okay.
picking up.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
we need a resolution on that?
well, we don't need to
I
really.
don't think we really need to.
Just to get it arranged and then invite all the councils,
Yeah.
can't we? Not just the committee. And
It'll be a social event rather than
then a council event.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And they can just laugh at it.
Or at least said some of us.
So thank you very much, Anya. Enjoy your other meeting.
Yeah, send them our best.
Yeah, will do. And we'll see you soon. Okay, so item 7 is budgets.
They do really appreciate it from next year after. I see you all the time.
Robin.
Take care, Anya.
But most of these budgets are a bit explanatory in the sense that they're, apart from the stuff in red. Is there anything in these budgets that, we can devise that's radically different, from what we anticipate, as you said earlier, the financial year in real terms? And are we, through you, Chair, are we, on budget at this point in the financial year, which is very early, to maintain stability in our finances?
Yeah, currently everything's okay.
Yeah.
Issues have been highlighted, the rates and a few other pieces.
Thank you.
John?
I'm now happy to accept the budget as it stands. Just a query, have we finally brought the cemetery there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Great.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah.
yeah, we're landlords.
Should we know, has there been that issue in an email to say that it has actually happened? It was always getting.
I don't think it has. I think there was,
I thought the clerk had written round, but I can't say.
maybe they have, yeah. Do you remember?
I'll take a quick
Have you
check.
seen anything? Anybody?
There was some last.
I know that I've seen it, whether it was, yeah.
I don't think it's gone out to all the members of the council.
Let me have a look and see if I can find
If it
it.
has, then I missed it, I'm sorry, but I don't remember seeing.
It was a week, fortnight ago.
Yeah, when I was away, it was.
Yeah, you were
There
away.
was an email, 3rd of May, that you replied to one, Fran.
Yeah,
But it is a major achievement.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Claire sent one on May the 3rd to say that Public Works Loan Board approved the loan application. So there was an update then.
It's not critical, but I think if I missed it, then I'm sorry, but if it hasn't gone out, I think we ought to let the council know that we are now owners of that land.
here we go. It went out on 3rd, 3rd of the 5th. It says that the Public Works Loan Board have approved the application, and the mayor and clerk have also signed the land transfer paperwork and taken it to the solicitor. And
you announced it on the stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That's in the chair's announcement.
yeah,
Oh, right, so that's not,
Yeah.
I've not seen that yet.
yeah.
Claire sent that email May the 3rd that said about the,
Yeah, it didn't say, and we bought it, and it's now ours, I suppose, that's what I'm saying.
okay, yeah,
I think it kind of does, but not necessarily, yeah.
yeah,
Robin,
You hadn't technically bought it at that stage, you were just on the paperwork.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I
But we have now.
I know
Paul was right in her comment that I mentioned it at the end. and
while I was in the office, I saw the paperwork and signed, and for a matter of legal probity, because of the auditor, I signed the as a signatory, I signed the other signatory, second one for the town clerk to actually authorise it, to make sure there was a second signature on it, although the agreement is signed by the mayor, the important agreement, but just for the auditor, make sure there was a second signature on it. I signed it when I was in the office, in case at some point they come back and said it had only got one signature on it, in which case it needed a second one of the.
did you sign it, Robin?
Yeah.
Did you?
So yes.
Yeah.
John, it is good to know, isn't it?
Do you want me to go for it again?
We've still got a shocking bit of road in the council with 30 mile an hour road speed.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's an ongoing story, isn't it? How we
there's
get,
a lot for today.
yeah, how you get 30 mile an hour road.
I can't find the, go back now to find where I was.
Yeah.
There we go.
Boules Court,
Budgets.
number 8.
Sorry, I'll be there in a second.
Some of those are slightly expensive, because it was on the back.
Did we vote on the budget?
No.
No, we didn't, because John asked a question about the
Cemetery.
cemetery, so.
One item.
So, Robin proposed that we accept the
Budget.
budgets.
Good second that.
Are you seconding or are you
Yeah,
asking?
I'm seconding,
So, Ryan's seconding, all those in favour,
There you are.
unanimous, thank you very much.
You're all raised hands. Yeah, but
So item 8, the Boules Court, to receive a verbal update.
So Claire has given me some information to pass on, which is that Claire and Lee met with the representative of the Twinning Association to discuss options for Boules Court. The meeting was very constructive and various locations were discussed. The flooding issues with Chandos were explained and understood. Lee suggested that should the council take over Rumbold's Fields, there will be a good space at the far triangle. The rep from the Twinning Association was happy with this suggestion, and should the takeover happen as hoped, then Lee will bring a report to a future environment meeting. If it doesn't happen, then other options will be revisited and again brought back to a future meeting. So that's the verbal
That
update.
sounds good. Excellent. Robin,
not that I'm against the principle of putting it there, but I think that the use of that land shouldn't be part of the negotiated away in advance of any possibility of having it, because there's quite a big question over the use of that land. And it would be much better to discuss it with all the probabilities which have been minuted historically about what possibly could be used for that land. And there's been conversations with many parties over many years. So I'm alarmed that the suggestion that that could be an option isn't done without full analysis of the use of the land against what the known probabilities in the town, without mentioning this. I will willingly give you that information without mentioning that. I think we may have inadvertently suggested to other people that that might one day be an option. So I think we do need to actually come back to a report about the land at the time and make the decision about that based upon the evidence of the land, if that ever becomes a question. We shouldn't really be doing, you can probably have that if we do that without actually looking at it through a legal context and all possibilities, because you preclude anything else happening there which could happen in conjunction or partnership with this. I don't want to say that, but I'm very willing to make people aware of that afterwards.
Not you wanting sheep on there, is it?
No, I am not putting sheep on there, but when I think it's unfair, but I know
well, I think
I can't.
at the moment, it's a conversation that's happened. They were originally asking to go in Chandos Park, which there is a flooding issue, and also what the piece of land that they were talking about was where the tennis club have got their and we've been in discussion with them. So it's very early stages of tentativeness on everything, I think. So it would be very useful if you could, outside of this meeting, share what information that you've got.
Not for the meeting.
Yeah.
It's not even to do with that. I'm just stressing that we shouldn't give false agreements to something that we haven't done.
The agreement has been made. It was a suggestion that may be a possibility. Anybody else? No, so thank you for the verbal update. The next on the agenda is the service and support agreement for 2 redeployable CCTV cameras. So Lee, do you want to talk us through this?
Yeah, sure. So this is to ask them to agree to CCTV, who currently maintain the system, provided and maintain the system. And this is to agree a 5-year agreement, yearly. And yeah, they cover everything, you know, including the data tariffs, the support, training, all kinds of help. So it's just to carry on current agreement. We had a 1-year agreement when we purchased it, and this is just to carry on the same.
Lucy,
Whereabouts are these canals?
well, they're really deployable, so they move around.
But which areas will they be covered?
Town centre, etc. They are there now. They are moved around, aren't they?
Depends on what spots.
And we don't say where they are
Yeah, so, yeah, that makes sense.
for obvious reasons. I think we've got John next and then Robin.
5 gigabytes per year doesn't sound very much. I'm assuming it's on the basis of, you know, like a dash cam in a car. If something happens and you can go back in the last 24 hours. But of course, 5 gigabytes is not going to be called very much for very long. I wondered what that meant, 5 gigabytes per camera per year.
So that's when we kept connect to it remotely. So it's constantly recording. It's got a hard drive within the system, so it's constantly recording for a set amount of time, which is 30 days, due to the data policy. We're going to keep the data for so long. But that gigabyte means we can connect to it remotely from the office and view it or download it for any footage we need. And so far, so good. That's been enough. We'll review it with the company if we need more. So it's literally just viewing it to find the footage we need to, and then uploading or downloading that footage.
And that the uploading or downloading whatever stuff is what comes into the 5 gigabytes.
Yeah, and viewing it, reviewing, you know, as we're looking for.
So if we had to look for a whole day, could that use up to 5 gigabytes in one day?
You tend not to. It's small chunks of sort of a few minutes at a time, generally.
All right. If that's
It's not continuously running. It's just, you know, as you're popping in and out of it, of the system to find stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, when we first went for this, it was, I think Councillor Smith was working closely with the police in the sense that we had the action group that they used to meet, and it came from there, and we, the council, chose to fund it. I think it's worth noting that this isn't always the case in a town, that a parish funds the CCTV. And it was done at the time because it was in partnership with the police, and it has worked very well. So I think it's worth saying that after the general election is finished, I think it's well worth doing a press release around the fact that we actually do this and we actually fund it, and that we're doing it for the well-being of the community, so on. Because
I think that's something possibly to bring to the next meeting.
Yeah.
I've been told we're specifically not allowed to talk about press releases this evening. So,
in which case we can't, because it won't be on the agenda.
well, we can put it on the agenda.
Yeah, can we put it on the agenda?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do we have anybody propose that, well, I propose that we accept this, Lucy, you seconded, everybody in favour? That's a unanimous, thank you very much.
Don't think-
Robin? Okay, Happens Jack bench signs. So again, we have a report on this.
Yeah, happy to go for the recommendation, Chair.
Okay, I was going to ask where they're being sourced from.
So a local company in town.
Okay. So it's a local, yeah. Yeah.
Is the colour scheme negotiable? Because I just feel like blue and red's a bit, I don't know.
For colourblind also, I don't think it's good colour for colourblind people. You're right. Yeah. In certain colour schemes and also for some autistic people, it's hard to see certain colours. So that might need to be looked into, but you're right, yeah,
I think we'd be better off with it on a white background,
Yeah,
yeah,
realistically, make it stand out better,
yeah. Great,
personally.
yeah, that's an amendment, then I'm happy to second that.
John?
I was going to say great. I think it's brilliant. I'm a bit I'm not a bit lost as to where the three places are. I can work out two of them. Cornwall Meadow down here.
There's a map, isn't there?
Is there a map?
So Cornwall's Meadow is Chandos Park.
It's got from those locations, there's two locations. Where's the third one?
Your garden, John.
Riverside Walk.
Riverside.
Where's the Riverside Walk?
All the way around the.
Just the bottom of the car park here.
By the
Yeah,
Swans.
where the swans are.
By the Swan.
By the Swans.
The sculpture,
Oh, so there's two benches.
So there's going to be two there.
yeah, opposite each other.
Oh, right, okay. I was wondering whether another location altogether, because there's two close to each other. Is that right?
No, so there's two, one at the Riverside Walk here and one in Chandos Park.
So there's two there.
Yeah,
So there are two benches in total. There's Cornwall's Meadow Riverside Walk.
But
Which is one bench.
Okay, so £47.20 times two doesn't come to £141.60,
Yeah,
does it?
that's three.
So that's three.
maybe the Cornwall Meadow was taken as a third accidentally.
Because if you look at the photo, it's Cornwall's Meadow Riverside Walk as one location. Written as one location.
We're only doing two, sorry, I think the figure might be wrong.
So we're just doing two initially then?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the plan.
then it'll be cheaper than
Yeah,
what's been said there. It'll be £94.40 or something.
yeah, so I think it's just been taken as accidentally.
Yeah, so I'd read it as three,
Yeah, so,
because I'd looked at the amount.
yeah,
Whereas I've
Robin?
put numbered line.
Not that it should be a consideration, but one of them's in our ownership of land and one's in
Yeah.
Buckinghamshire Council's. I presume that they'll easily agree to it.
Yeah, it's just say that.
I didn't see it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I
And
just,
it's a good idea.
usually they want to
Yeah.
then put a second plaque by them that they've agreed to other than the first plaque.
A bigger one.
I think- Right, we agree to the first plaque. I'm just worried, yeah. I'm remembering when we opened the, had some money from section 106 once, we put a plaque up on it and then they came along the district council, but a really large plaque.
that
We
was the
had that.
mugger,
The mother,
that's when I opened it.
We had that when we had money to refurbish Chapel Pool. And we had money from the landfill. And they gave us a huge chunk of money and they gave us this little plaque like this. We had money from the National Lottery funding and they gave us this plaque like this. And we had about 200 quid from AVDC and they gave us. We got 100,000 off the landfill.
Yeah.
John, sorry, we digress.
We need to just vote on the proposal. This is.
Yeah, so first of all, we've got the amendment that we go for a white plaque with black and red writing on. As a start off. So I propose that.
I seconded
You're
it.
seconding it. All those in favour of that amendment? Thank you very much.
And, sorry, and secondly, it's two places.
Two places.
And thirdly, can we bank a press release on this?
Well,
it's not, can we make sure it's talked about after the election?
Next meeting.
So that's.
Yeah.
it'll be press,
General item of separate press releases, at some point.
Yeah.
After the 4th of July.
which be Independence Day.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Re-lettering of war
So
memorial.
do you need
We need to vote
Oh,
on that.
sorry, yeah, voting on that. I thought we'd done it. So on agreement. Excellent.
Thanks, Lee,
Thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you.
Well done.
Re-lettering of War Memorial.
This was just a verbal update to let everyone know, we've given the memorial a good clean. Had some
It was very nice when I went past it the other day.
We've got some do lettering, a while ago, we repaired one of the bollards, that got damaged, and repaired the stone, that was a tricky bit
Yeah.
on that one. And the guys have all got to do left, I think, was repaint the bollards around the sort so
Good,
it's had a good, really good spring clean. It's good.
excellent. John?
Two things, again, can we thank the press release on
Yep.
this? And secondly, where have we got to with the wreath for the Remembrance Sunday coming up in November? Because hitherto, we bought one, a plastic one,
It's not this committee, I don't think, John.
isn't it?
No,
Right, isn't it?
no,
Okay.
no.
We'll go to another
I
committee.
think we
then.
discussed that here in the current committee anyway.
We did, and I can't, I'll
I
be,
think we've come to conclusions on it. I think it was full council, wasn't it?
yeah, but it's all council.
Yeah. Yeah, right, okay. So thank you very much for that, Lee. The work that's been done. Climate emergency action plan, any updates on it? Robin?
I think it's worth noting the work that goes into this. It's also worth noting that we are slowly progressing our obligations within it. I also think that at a suitable time in the future, it would be useful to do an appraisal of where we were, where we are today, because we have done quite a lot, and it's a live document, not a final document. And then at that point, following John's lead, it'd be appropriate to recommend to that we do some discussion around that, but not today, because I think there are several things that we've done which we had a climate action plan. Our officers have moved this stuff forward quite considerably over time, and we're not, as I say, it's a live document because things change and things happen, and we'll never be completely satisfied. But I think at some point we need to do something about saying where we are. We haven't done it, and it was a major thing that council chose to do. So at some point, maybe we could, through the chair and the officers, decide whether that's appropriate to do that, because it's moved on a long way.
Thank you, Robin. Okay, anybody else anything on?
Just quickly, I don't think it's appropriate or not, or relevant rather, not appropriate. But I recently found some wild orchids growing by St Mungo's Fields. They're not the super rare ones, so they're not under like the biggest protection restriction, but I think it's good, and it shows that actually, you know, our town is maintaining a traditional ecosystem in that respect, and we are still getting
That's excellent.
uncommon wildflowers.
Can you take some photos and
I've taken some photos, I haven't
circulate,
circulated.
let Lee know where they are?
Yeah.
Sent around.
Take photographs, but don't let anybody know
No.
where they are.
No, let Lee know
Yeah.
where they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I was potentially gonna get in contact with the Bucks, the Wildlife Trust.
Yeah,
Wildlife
yeah.
Trust, to see if they're interested as well.
Sure.
Mm.
Robin?
What was, you did say the other day when we spoke, what was the name of the actual?
I found two different types. I found another type yesterday.
Yeah.
There's the pyramid orchid and a spotted marsh orchid.
It'd be nice to see pictures.
Yeah, they're really beautiful as well.
Anything going to Buckingham Matters magazine?
This, it is significant, we can't make a decision on it because it isn't on the agenda, but I do think that through the chair, we must know where they are, just in case there is any actions, now we were aware of it.
Sounds already said.
Yeah.
Lee's going to be closed.
Lease is gonna let Lee know where they are.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
if we have to do
Yeah.
anything to protect them, we can do.
It's already been discussed and
Yeah.
agreed.
I'll draw your treasure map.
I was jealous that I didn't.
Okay, so we are going ahead with everything on that still.
Yeah.
Compliments and complaints log. Quite interesting reading. Hello.
The complaint about the grey water,
Yeah,
it's not pollution, it's not grey water, it's a completely natural and really quite special mix of decomposing plant matter, undisturbed water, the metals that are still left in the ground from the railway. It's not sewage, it's just nature, and we need people to understand that there's nothing wrong with it, that's just what decomposing plant matter smells like in water, and it's actually really healthy and really good for the plants and for the animals and the amphibians. So,
okay,
yeah.
Lisa.
Thank you. So the third one down, the one about the bushes being overgrown. It says it is signposted to fix my street and the Shire Council's complaints. Was the person themselves contacted over it? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. And also going on what Lucy just said, is it worth having some kind of, probably isn't, a little sign there, something like that that would
So
explain?
this was something that we discussed, we had a meeting last week about the whole
The stretch.
Proposals for the whole railway walk, and there are going to be boards of
Talked about that for years, haven't we?
explaining the different parts of it as part of
Okay.
that. So I think
So something like that
Lucy,
could be added to it.
yeah,
Okay, good.
absolutely. It was brought up in
Okay.
meeting with Brooks Council.
All right, thank you.
John, did I see your hand up?
No,
No,
that's
sorry.
great.
Robin.
I would ended that meeting with others, and it was a very positive meeting, and we furnished them with knowledge about where it was. I did write back to the officer afterwards. I do think that it would be appropriate at some point through guidance of officers, that the people who are not at the meeting, to be brought up to date with what's being proposed and that at the meeting, even if that has to be done in a confidential manner at this stage. I don't think anything that was said would be confidential, but it's very much the decisions about the expenditure and what will come under this committee, because it's part of the area that this committee maintains, that being the historic railway walk area. And I think it should come back to here at some point.
So at the moment, that meeting was a first steps meeting. It was initial thoughts, their thoughts, Bucks Council's thoughts on what they're looking at doing, our thoughts on what we think that should be done on there. There's no plan being made yet. So I think once that plan starts being made, that would be the appropriate time to bring it back to this committee. Yeah.
They had agreed in the meeting in October. If it could be something for November.
Yeah. Have you got a hand up, right?
No.
No. Okay. Anything else on the complaints and compliments? I think we need to thank our Green Spaces team for the compliments and applaud them for the actual lack of complaints. So they think that's actually got anything to do with them.
Yeah, thanks, Lynn.
So thank you, Lee. Thank you, team.
Yeah.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is the action report. So Do we have any updates on anything on here? You know, John first of all, please.
Well, it's obviously not an update, it's just a question, 19223. Has the roofer repaired the leaks?
We've just got quotes in, and we're just about to give them the okay.
So we have commissioned somebody.
Just about to, it's all done,
Okay.
it's just back today, so.
Great, and then we get panels.
It's the funding is secured until 26, is it now, or is it 25?
I think it's March next year.
March 20, yeah, so, yeah, it's on its way.
Funding can be.
Can
used for repair of
can we make sure that the roof is leaking with an A, not two A's? I'm being Margaret.
We just usually use the funding for repair of the.
Yeah, that's right.
In lieu of then replacing
Yeah.
that funding for the panels ourselves.
Did you hear that, John?
What, we're going to spend the money on something else?
No, that's not what was said at all. The permission has been given to use some of that funding to repair the roof, provided that we then replace that funding for the panels.
Sorry.
So we can borrow against it basically to repair the roof before we.
Well, the money's from our own, it's our own.
No, it's not.
That's not,
No,
Well, the section 106 money then.
it was, where was it from?
New homes.
new homes bonus.
Yeah. Yeah. Which
Okay.
is why it's been, we managed to get an extension on it till next year, but they have, it was specifically for solar panels. They understand that the issue with the roof leaking, there's no point in putting solar panels on the roofing leak.
But I just would like to note,
yeah.
for the minutes, that it's 13 years since we made the decision.
Yeah,
Is it?
Yes.
yeah.
It was the first motion I put to the full council when I became a councillor 13 years ago.
Time flies when you're having fun.
To not get to this point.
It's moved forward in my time on this committee. So I think we've got Lucy next.
Just 771/20 Tindrick Road green spaces. I was wondering if any thought was being given to the state of the big field that contains St Rumbold's Well.
We can't do anything with it at all.
We don't.
No, as in prior to handover.
No,
Are
can't
we
do
allowed-
anything on somebody else's land.
No, as in, are we allowed to request that it is left in a certain condition before we accept responsibility for it? I'm not saying that we do anything with it, but do we have any power to say, we're not going to take it on when it looks like that?
I think we've gone through enough.
Okay.
I think it's there enough along the road.
We're still not to agreements, etc. So Barrett's might pull out of it still.
There is a process that will go through with the X106 officer at Boules Council, that it should be built as per planning commission. And I've started that process with that officer.
What we can say is what's taking place on Barrett's land, and what we can say is that Barrett's have put in footpaths and part of the ongoing, and Lee's been working with rights of way on the rights of way issues on there, but not in the sense that it's any of our responsibility. I have spoken to them as a Buckinghamshire councillor, not as a town councillor, with the rights of way team about ensuring that work's done. What we can't do, because we don't own the land and because it's penalty agreement, is discuss what happens to it. At the point of that's all been done in confidential, and we are advised that we're waiting the end of that, so we can't really do it because we could prejudice ourselves.
Basically what Lee just
Can I just come back and say that's not what I was getting at all? It was more in the fact that I've had a lot of complaints from residents about the fact that they're 6 foot high
There's
thistles.
nothing to do with us.
And I've told them all the land belongs to
Yeah,
developers, need to get back to developers, but
Barrett's over.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's where sheep come in.
yeah.
Thank you. I can't see it on the agenda, and so I don't know where it come under, or if we're even allowed to talk about it because of the election, but anything to report, can we talk about anything to report? To do with the environment and particularly mowing, or is that not allowed in this meeting?
It's not on the agenda, is it?
No, not specifically on.
Just normally things that we report or that we normally have something like that on the agenda. That's
Planning, please.
sorry.
Is that normally a planning?
Planning.
Yeah, we don't normally have anything
Things
to
to-
report on it. On here,
It could be
yeah,
actions and
yeah.
that's,
mowing. Would it be under that? Because it's your you guys used to do it. So
There's nothing really on the general, the action list relating to, if it's in model parks.
no, it's what would come out of what we should.
Burgess.
What we've been doing very well, but not doing now. Because that would have been your team, so that might would have gone on to planning normally.
No.
No, that wouldn't be under planning, but anything to report is on the planning agenda, and it's not ever been on the environmental agenda as far as I can.
So can I raise anything to do with the mowing or not because of?
Is it our mowing,
Yeah, no.
No,
or you can't?
It's about the water services.
no.
It's the water services.
Right, not changed, but it's a question about it, so I'll ask you after, okay,
Okay,
go on, thank you.
Robin.
it's not on the agenda, but I do think it's something that we should be discussed, whether it should be on the agenda at a future point, because people are receiving correspondence about issues, and there is no condition on the account to discuss it, and that's the situation has changed. I understand where Lisa's coming from, but maybe it could be something that be placed to be agreed to be on a future agenda, because
Well, that's something to be discussed.
yeah, but I understand exactly where you're coming from. I know exactly why you're saying. Agree totally.
Can it go on the next agenda then, please?
If you write to me and ask me, to go on the next agenda, I will discuss with my green space manager and
Thank you. Yeah, will do.
Yeah,
Cheers.
okay, the only other thing, that I've got a shrub bed, at the community centre, it appears that somebody's been weeding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just noticed that, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's really good, doesn't it?
Last been put in as well.
Been put in there, so,
Yeah, some lavender.
I suggest that perhaps we could write to Bucks Council and ask them if they will make sure that it doesn't get
Sprayed with weed.
sprayed with weed killer or strewed.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
all the lovely planting that got put in last time got killed off by someone going around with a can of
Yeah.
Roundup.
Yeah.
Is that why? Okay, right.
We don't know who it was, but someone's obviously gone around and it's just killed everything, weed or not.
Because we were saying it looked lovely.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful flowers out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it looks like somebody's putting some really hard work on that.
I'm happy to support your suggestion to
So
like some.
we can, ask the clerks to write to Bucks Council,
Yeah.
and ask them to not go around strimming it willy-nilly
Yeah.
and we'll see if we can possibly, between ourselves, maybe, see if we can keep it tidy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else got anything else?
I must say, I think it is improved. It looks, coming into the meeting tonight, it looks a lot better than it has done. I do think the suggestion, whatever spray they used was, but one of the things one was taught when using chemicals is that don't spray in a wind, and because you get drift, and if you spray in a wind, you get drift and kill the hedge and stuff, and you'll kill whatever you want. So obviously, you can see that it was drifting. So they must have sprayed in wind, and it only takes a little bit of those chemicals on the plant and it will perish it. So it might be that their contractors aren't aware that on a windy day that they shouldn't be spraying.
Anyway, do we have any further information on the benches that were outside the town hall?
I have twice corresponded with them. I was twice given assurance that they were going to come back to me, and I am still waiting for them to come back to me. I will.
We'll leave that with you.
I will go back again, but there may be a good reason why they haven't come back to me. But I am not doing it. I thought it would be in time for this meeting, but it hasn't happened. Unless I got my phone on mute and I was in another meeting and I missed the phone call, which I can't say that they didn't phone me.
Okay, so next item on the agenda is news releases, which we're not doing. I have no chair's announcements. The date of the next meeting will be Monday, the 29th of July.
Gosh.
And with that, I'll bring this meeting in public session to a close, and we need to vote to take the meeting into private session. Those in favour?